fantasy marble paint effect on a column. A fantasy marble is a marble that is made up. It's not representing any particular marble that one can purchase. Here we have the column in bare plaster, and we're applying a primer, a good quality primer, and it's a water-based primer, and it's very expensive. Start painting at the top of the column and work our way down. Before you would have painted this column, you would have done some preparation, denib it, clean off, dust off, wipe down. There's the column all primed. Now here we would then rub it down and apply the base colour, let it dry, fill if need filling, and again let dry, and we would again apply another coat of base coat and leave it to dry. Then we give it a coat of scumble glaze, and then start adding the base colours to the marble, which I did using a sponge and softened off with a wet rag. Here we're just finishing off the column with the scumble glaze to start veining the marble. There you can see the breakup of the colour with the sponge quite distinctively on the marble. That was my reference to the type of marble I was doing, and I like to warm up with a couple of sketches of veins for marble, so it's actually in my head what I need to do. The next stage is to make a colour for the veins, these for the secondary veins. This is very important, so don't rush this. It's incredibly important to get the correct colour to make it look realistic. A lot of work is they've done fantastic background work and they fall down on the veins. They're harsh, very distinct and bright, and it doesn't look natural. When you're imitating marbles and woods, the success depends that it looks like natural marble and natural wood. So take your time to get the tonal qualities of the colours that you need. Experiment until you get the right one. Here we're going to use a sable chisel songwriting brush for the secondary veins. And starting at the top and work down. Now you see what I was saying, that the vein is not hitting you in the face. I want it to come through naturally. A very similar tonal quality because it's secondary veining. When we do the primary veins, they're darker. On the marble that I looked at was in one of the museums at Liverpool, which I would recommend anybody to go to Liverpool. I think I've visited 5 different museums there now. Great quality and very cultured. I actually had a holiday in Liverpool when they first built the Tate Modern, because at that point in time it housed the most modern art work collection in the country. And here I'm so pleased with this find, the shaving brush, which is made of pure badger bristle, and because my softener that I would normally use had been stolen, I had to look for an alternative. But because of the paints and the glazes now are totally new formulations, the old badger softeners was quite difficult to work with the new technology of glazes and the new emulsion paints that have been formulated because of the VOCs. And I can manipulate the glaze with this shaving brush in many ways that I couldn't do before. So if you're looking for a cheap badger softener, it cost me £3.60 from Wilko. There you can see the work of the secondary veining that we've done, completed on the column so far. Here I'm taking out, I bought a set of brushes, children's brushes, for £2 at B&M, and they had these brushes where you can wipe out, and that's exactly what I did there. Wiped out some areas and softened off with the badger softener, which is a shaving brush that I'm using. I'm just filling in areas that I think should need a bit more work, and soften them off, because I want it to blend in naturally into the, as if it was a marble, stone marble. I could have left the column with the sponge effect, marble effect of the base without doing any veining at all, and that's totally your choice or the client's choice. But don't just rush into the veining. Look at what is there, what you're trying to imitate. Otherwise, if you don't sort of get the feel right, it will look unnatural. I'm just using the tips there of the sable songwriting pencil. And then just softening off the veins that I've done, and it works so well, the shaving brush, with the manipulation of the glaze. You know, if you're quite new to this, I would recommend you to practice on a few sample boards. But as you can see here, this is the way that I would treat a commercial job, because one is a painter and decorator that would serve an apprentice to learn these techniques of graining and marbling was part of the job. When this is actually done, one will leave it to dry overnight and give it a coat of varnish. Everything I'm using here is water based, the whole system, from the primer to the finish varnish. There again, I am doing some wipeouts. I like going to museums, to heritage houses, and study the marble and the woods. You start to get an eye, you see a pattern. I saw a pattern like what I'm doing at the bottom at one of the local English Heritage Trust Fund houses, and that's why it's a lot more purplier, more warmth, but it's just something different that would spring up out of a piece of marble, and I'm quite happy with that. It's interesting, it's not overpowering, and it looks like marble. All you can do, I have done a video that tells you the best budget materials to buy. Please check that out, that will help you. And thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it helps you to enjoy this lost art.